Hello, Mr. Gallardo. Welcome to my office. It is a pleasure to see you again. I was very impressed the other day on the elevator. I look forward to know more about you and your professional skills.
Hi, Mrs. Merizalde. It's a pleasure to see you again, and I'm very interested about this interview because I want to form your team of the library. So it's a pleasure to meet you again.
It's a pleasure, Álvaro. Let me introduce you, Rosie, my colleague. Will we be doing your interview? And shall we start? First, tell me, why do you want this job?
Okay, it's a good question. I want this job because I see you find a professional researcher. So I am a professional researcher and I'm passionate about my work because I'm a hardworking person. I put a lot of effort on the jobs and works I have to do. So I consider that I can help your library to improve the quality of your expositions and your publications. So I could help you with writing scripts, writing articles, because I like to do that and I'm a very hardworking person on that. So that's the reason that I want to work for you in this library.
Excellent.
It is very interesting. And the other question is, tell me about one of your greatest strengths.
One of my biggest strengths is that I am a hardworking person because when I have to do a lot of work, I concentrate on it. I uh, write or I do some uh, scripts or some guides to improve my writing. Also, I am a peaceful person. I have a great relationship with coworkers and we have incredible working relationship. So that's my biggest strength, hardworking and being a peaceful person.
It's very interesting.
Okay, and tell me more about your experience.
And you know that I don't have experience on a formal job, but when I worked here as an intern, I did a lot of job and I work on scripts about expositions for kids, expositions for people about Quito and the maps of Quito. And also we work on public events like the Free Book Day and other projects that I work here. And also I'm in sometimes I manage the library and I do the borrowing for people and make a lot of projects with the personnel of the library. So that's the experience that I had as an intern here 1 year ago.
The
Yes, I
experience,
remember you.
sorry, Gabi.
Sorry, don't worry. Go ahead, Rosie.
The experience is more important. And the other question is, how do you handle stress and pressure?
When I have to deal with the stress and pressure, I take a break of 30 minutes and I get more relaxed and I think in other things and other activities. And when I get more relaxed, I return to work with energy, a lot of energy. So I take 30 minutes of work to get more relaxed and get calmed down. And then I return to do the things and the work that I have on that day.
Okay, then, and tell me about a time you disagreed with a decision. What did you do?
And the time that I did disagree with that decision was 1 year ago in a work group. So when the group choose a decision, I tell them that it's not a good idea. So I proposed other decision in order to search for the benefit of the group and the co-workers. So I tell them why I disagree with that and propose another decision. So in the case that I have to do this in the future, I will tell all the coworkers that why I think is a bad idea and propose other idea to solve the problem. So I deal with this if I have this problem in the future.
Yes, you know that it's essential as a part of our work team. Thanks so much for your answers, for your time, for coming today to our office. We will call you after analyzing some of the answers you gave us. Again, it was a pleasure to meet you again, Mr. Gallardo. I will call you.
Thank you, Mrs. Merizalde. I will waiting for your call and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Okay. And now we have to comment on that interview, the good things and the things to improve. I think you worked pretty well, Álvaro. You answer really appropriate, and I didn't find grammatic mistakes, for example. So I congratulate you. Congrats for your interview. Maybe a thing that I would say you have to improve, as I always told you, it's maybe tone variation, something a little bit more uh, with highs and lows, something more like body language. But yes, in general terms, I think it was great. Any comment, Rosie?
No, Gabi, it's the you told all.
Okay, so let's move to your interview, Rosie.
Okay. Good morning, Mrs. Castillo. It's a pleasure to have in our office. We are interested in an interview you because we heard that you have interesting ideas for our business. And so let's start with interview with asking you some questions. So the first question is, uh, tell me about yourself.
Uh, Thanks for the opportunity, Mr. Gallardo. I about myself is my name is Rosa Castillo. I am 24 years old. I studied at the La Salle High School. I studied at the Central University of Ecuador and studied finance engineer. I am in the third semester. I work at the Pichincha Bank as portfolio helper. I am very good with numbers. I am excellent leader and very proactive.
Okay,
Okay.
it's a pleasure to meet you, Rosie. I'm Mr. Gallardo, secretary, and I will continue also the interview with him. And what is one of your biggest weaknesses?
My big weaknesses is my strong character, but when I was in the school and with help of my mother, I improved a lot and now I am more patient, and before I get angry, I take a breath and try to find solutions to my problems.
Okay, it's a good idea to lead with your angry. It's important because you have to stay calm every time. Next question is, if you were the CEO of this company, what is the first decision you would make?
Mm, I think the first decision I will make is to look for better opportunities for employees and speed with accounts to find out the status of the company and make appropriate decisions to depend on the status of the company.
Excellent. And can you tell me how would you do that? What's your leadership style?
It's an excellent question, Gabi. My leadership style is motivate people to prepare themselves with more tools to improve themselves because it is the only way to get out of the comfort zone and overcome of limitations. The more prepared we can be in any situation, the better professionals and human beings we can be.
Okay, that's interesting to hear about you because we are looking for people that have a good leadership on our business. And the last question, and it's important to or to me and my secretary here and this. Why are you the best person for the job?
Because it was always my dream to work here and can learn many things from the other people and have more knowledge, not only of my work area, but and I also a very practical person and I love motivating people.
Okay, thank you for coming to this important interview, Mrs. Castillo. It was a very productive interview. We heard about all your ideas. And in the next week, we will call you if we want to know you get a job. My secretary will tell you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallardo and Miss Gabi, for the attention. I, I work in the company. I want to work in the company.
Okay.
Okay.
And Rosie, you did it best. Yesterday was regular, but now you improved a lot of things. One one thing I would say is that you have to be careful with the time of the pronunciation of verbs because you said I was interesting and I think you will say I am interesting. So be careful with the time of the verbs. The rest is okay and you did a great job, I think.
Yes, you did it better, Rosie. Um, However, there are always things to improve in pronunciation, little details. Um, but yes, I think I was pretty uh, convinced with your answers, so it was a great interview.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you, Álvaro, for the comments.
Okay, so I start with your interview, Gabby.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the name of the magazine?
Mongabay.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Mrs. Merizalde. Welcome to Manga Bay office. We are interested in interviewing you because we heard a lot of interesting ideas. The passion that you put on your exposition about why you want to work for this company. So my partner, Rosy Castillo, and I will interviewing to see why you are the best candidate for the job. So let's start. First question, tell me a little about yourself.
Okay. First of all, good morning, Mr. Gallardo and Miss Rosie. It is a pleasure for me to be in here and having this huge opportunity. And okay, I will answer your question. I'm a social communicator passionate about environment who wants to become a journalist. Nowadays, I work as a consultant for World Wildlife Fund, and I graduated at Universidad Politécnica Salesiana as a social communicator, and I graduated top of my class. One of my biggest dreams is to become a journalist and to defend nature.
It's fascinating interview. And the other question is, out of all candidates, why should we hire you?
Because I'm experienced. As I told you, I work for World Wildlife Fund, which is, as you know, a the world's most important ONGs related to environment. So I'm aware of knowledge about science, and I'm aware of climate crisis, biodiversity crisis, and all this kind of environmental matters. Also, I am a social communicator, which means that I have the ability to put messages into the level of understanding for audiences. I'm pretty good at that, and I'm really, really passionate about working here. I think I could benefit your digital magazine with my skills and my fast learning skills too. I studied journalism in college, but not because I was the best on that subject in high school, but because I like it. And with passion and with commitment and motivation, I became the top of my class and I give the final speech. So I think it is a good skill that can benefit you and your important digital magazine.
Hey, that's interesting to hear you. You have an interesting CV, so it could be important for our company. And next question is what is one of your biggest weaknesses?
Okay, that's a hard one. I would say it is time management because when I get into one task, it could take some time, a lot of time actually, because I'm really meticulous with things, and I learned to handle this with some techniques to better manage the time. But also, I consider that being meticulous is really important as a journalist, especially as an investigative journalist. So maybe it could be both ways. It could maybe take me some time, but I could learn how to handle it better and be a really good journalist who contrasts and be careful with data.
It's fantastic. And the other question is, what are your career goals?
Okay. Uh, I would love to be a journalist and to win an award for being a journalist. Um, I love the power that this profession has to uh, speak up for things and protect nature and communities is one of my career goals. I would love to work here, maybe win an award, and in the way help communities, people, and species and nature.
I agree with you because communication will do this work better because of expressing ideas and arguments that we have. So the last question of our interview is, tell me, how do you think other people describe you?
Mm, okay, that's also a difficult one. I would say that because of my job, um, people have told me that I'm very creative. I know how to say difficult things in simple and creative ways, and I have to find a way to do so. So I've been told I'm very creative. Also, uh, my boss said that I'm very responsible. I worked for him for about 3 years. After my internship, I became part of that team. So I think it's most because I'm really responsible. Also, I'm a problem solver because no matter how the amount of task of work I have to do, I always have to find a way to come up with solutions and to be on time. And the last thing is I'm a very passionate person. I've been told that not many people do the things I do, and it is because I'm passionate about it. I have a lot of external groups, and we do activism, and we do volunteering, and I think it is because there are some things beyond people and more related with feelings that can commit someone to do something extraordinary. And I think some people think I'm passionate uh, about a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for coming to our interview. You did a great explanation about yourself and you complete with some things that you said when we meet on the elevator. So my partner Rosie and I will tell you in the next few weeks if you get the job. So thank you for coming to Mongo Banjo and it was a pleasure to interview.
The pleasure was mine, Mr. Álvaro. And thanks for the opportunity, you and Rosie. Thanks for receiving me here in this extraordinary institution. Okay.
Okay, it's well done, well executed. You did a great job, Gabby, but I think you have to be more concrete on your answers
Yeah.
because you take a lot of time and it could be a mistake because you could get boring the person that you are interviewing, you are talking. So try to make more concrete answers. The next
Okay.
it's okay.
I will take it to account.
Yes, I, I, I can see with Álvaro. It is better. The grammatic is very well. Um, is very well.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Álvaro. I have problems being concrete. It's not only in English. It's because I'm this way, but I will try to improve. Thanks, guys.